There are some lessons that I've learned in 2026 that I would classify as very, very valuable lessons. Number one, and I did share briefly about some of the lessons that I've learned in 2025. Now we are currently sitting in 2026, right? We always want to reflect on the year where we come from, and we want to look at the year that we are going into, right? Because here's what's going to happen if we do not reflect on where we are coming from. We are going to repeat the same mistakes that we made in the previous year. And then, as much as we start out the new year believing and saying to ourselves, this is going to be my year, things are going to be amazing, the hype of the new year can wrap itself up in this expectation of something new. But here's the reality, guys: if your decisions and the quality of your decisions are exactly the same like the previous year, the outcomes will be the same. A wise man once said that insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. Let's use an example here. Let's say you say to yourself, I am going to make six figures in the year 2026. But in your mind, in your frame of mind, you have what we call stinking thinking, meaning you tell yourself, yeah, I want to make six figures, but it's difficult, right? Or you might say, I don't have the means. Or you might say, yeesh, with my current life and my bad luck in the previous times, I will probably never get to that stage. So that is stinking thinking. And if that has been the circle of your thinking or the cycle of your thinking, nothing that you do will get you from that phase or that cycle of your life. You might look at the six figures in a distance and say, you know what, I think I can do this, but it's going to take a lot more than that. So, lesson number one is you have to start looking at it and say, yes, this might be something that is perhaps out of my reach. But here's the key question: how can I program my life so that what seems to be out of reach? So that what seems to be out of reach can come to my reach. You might say, okay, let's break the six figures down, right? If I need to start to get to that place, at what point in my life would I like to make that six figures? We are now sitting in January. So you might say, you know what, I'm going to aim for this in the next 6 months. Now, once you say you're going to aim for it in the next 6 months, then you need to start to break that process down. The amount itself might look big, but here's the thing: you need to break it down into small, digestible steps, right? So that what seems out of reach will now come closer to you. When you break it down, you might say, okay, here is what I need to do over a period of 6 months, and I need to be able to track my progress month one, month two, month three, month four, month five, going into the 6 months, right? Then you need to take stock. The first month, make a couple of ticks, break it down into weeks, right? I've got 4 weeks in a month. What is it that I need to do? Week one, week two, week three, week four. And that's basically how you need to program yourself or come out of that concept of your stinking thinking, where what you think might be impossible is now possible, because all of a sudden, when you make it manageable and you make it digestible, right? All of a sudden, what seems to be the major problem has now become a easy and accessible vehicle that you can use to basically accomplish the goal, right? That's the first thing. The second thing is you need to up and improve your self-belief. While you might think, but we are never born for this. This is not what we've used to do or we were doing in our family. We are accustomed and familiar with this concept of being okay with the bare minimum and struggling. Right. So if that is part of your frame of mind, you need to reprogram that frame and you need to start thinking, yes, perhaps that's how I was brought up. That's perhaps what my family and my parents introduced me to. But is there a way for me to come out of here? What is it that I deserve? What is it that I keep thinking about? Even though, yes, I've been raised a particular way, but I keep thinking about this. Perhaps this is set out for me. What must I do to accomplish that? Then you need to move in motion, right? You need to move in motion. What type of material do you need to read to make sure that what you are hoping to accomplish now becomes accessible to you? Because here's the thing: let's say your circle and your circle of friends is not the right circle. They don't speak the language of what you are dreaming of, right? They might complain about the past, they might complain about the present, they might complain about how hard and tough life is, but they are not discussing solutions. Perhaps you need to move from that phase and you now need to look at, do I need a different circle that are starting to talk about solutions? And instead of looking only at the problems of life, we are looking at ways how can we overcome these particular problems. So you need to start elevating your self belief in yourself. Here is the thing, somebody once said that if it is to be, it is up to me, right? I'm going to repeat that. Someone once said, if it is to be, it is up to me, right? So if it is to be that I'm meant to have a successful life, build a business, start a course, or go for a degree and complete that, if it is to be, it's up to me, right? So the ball will always be in your court where your life is concerned. You cannot leave it to chance and say circumstances does not allow me to accomplish or to go for what I would like to accomplish. And don't worry about the time element of how long it's going to take you. That's not crucial. What is more crucial is what are you going to do today to make sure you're one step closer to that particular dream that you carry in your heart. And perhaps I feel this message might be all over the place, but I think there's a thread here: self belief. Get rid of this thinking. Perhaps get yourself in a circle of choice, right? Get yourself into a new circle. Get yourself into a group of people that are where you would like to be. Start following them on the social media platform. Start reading the books of those people that you aspire to be like. And in these little small steps, it's now January 2026, 6 months of focused work can incredibly change your perspective. It can change your dynamic, and it can change your life and your results. So this is the key that I would like to leave with you: is start believing in yourself. And main thing is see how you can change your little habits on a day-to-day basis. That's all I want to leave with you. This is Dig Down Adventures. See you on the other side. Cheers.